know why I'm extra tired this morning.
I think something about the severe cold just sort of sucks it out of you.
That's I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
You know. And it's going to stay in single digits all this week. At least it's above zero, I guess, but still.
Dude, where's my car? Where's your car, dude?
Who told you you can eat my cookies?
Well, all I hear all day long at school is how great Marsha is at this or how wonderful Marsha did that. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha!
Pizza! Pizza, pizza, going tummy, me so hungry, me so hungry.
When you want to talk sports, you ask folks who have seen it all up close. So on The Al Travis Show, we go with the guys at the end of the bench. Time to talk all things sports.
Plenty of things sports-wise to talk about, and I presume these are sports things, but a little off the record. We're going to start a little differently if I can. John and Dan, thanks for being here. Did you guys watch that Alex Honnold, or whatever his name is, freestyle the outside of Topaz 101, the skyscraper? Did you guys watch it, Dan?
No, you got to tell me about it.
Oh, you got to watch it. Look it up. It's on Netflix. You got to watch it. John, did you see it?
I did not see it. I just read a little bit about it.
I do not follow building climbing all that tightly, but my kids came down, and one of them said, we got to watch this. It happened yesterday, and I'm like, okay, it's kind of like the Titanic. You know how that ends? The guy obviously made it because you hadn't read that he had died falling off this. It was like 170 floors or some crazy crap, and literally he's going on the outside. 2 hours. My wife and myself and two kids couldn't turn it off. It just kept getting worse. He just kept having harder things to climb. And he's up there, and they got a guy on a rope that's kind of doing the video of it. Holy crap. At about 30 floors, I'm out. There's no way I'd hang in the building. You got to watch it. Alex Honnold, what do they call him, the climbing guy, get a video of that. And just even if you just turn it on, fast forward it if you don't have 2 hours, that's the craziest crap ever. There's a reason we don't let people do that in America.
So they had like close-ups of somebody, the camera hanging near him, right?
They had a rope. I don't know how they clean windows, one of those things out there. And he was tied up, and he was about 10, 15 feet away from the guy and just kept following him up this thing. And this guy, you literally watch him with his bare hands skinning it. Like, it was crazy. It's 2 hours. It made you nauseous just watching it. You could not believe a human was allowed to do it. And then you think to yourself, all the Taiwanese, all the Taiwanesians, I don't know what they call them, down on the ground. And at some point you're like, you can't even see him anymore. He was so far up, and they're just waiting for him to fall. I mean, that's what would have been the big draw. You couldn't see him get to the top. It was crazy. So watch that. Fair enough? Okay, you guys didn't watch. Incredible. And then did you guys catch what's happening in May at the Brickyard 500? Yeah. You didn't catch it, did you?
No.
Why do I got to do all the research for this show?
Yeah. Yep.
The 6 Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles will once again be racing a race at the Indianapolis 500. I missed it last year. I cannot miss it this year. You guys aren't. This is kind of in-depth.
You didn't have both better.
The
I got something that's almost
better
than that.
Amazing.
All right. What's better than that, John?
There's a group, I think it's either here in Wisconsin, that does a school bus demolition derby.
Oh, I could get into that. With kids?
They drive around full-size school buses and they're banging into each other.
You don't bet on the game. You bet that your kid will survive. And you fill it with the kids, and let's see who survives. That's the gaming that we're looking for in this room. All right.
Or a fundraiser. How long will my kids stay on the for every 15 minutes my kid stays on the bus?
I'll give $1 per mile. All right, just bringing it up, folks. Let's talk the football games yesterday. I mean, obviously NFL the big deal. They're going on to the conference championships. I think the Patriots downing the Broncos 10-7 could have been such a better game if they put a dome on it. Do I got to say it anymore? Well, they even showed at one time the time lapse. Within like 15 minutes, you couldn't see the field anymore, and no one could score after that. John, tell me I'm wrong. I'm not wrong.
I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but it did impact the game. Although in New England, I think they had 25 inches of snow from the monster storm out there.
That's why you put a dome on it. It wasn't fun. Dan,
but it wasn't fun. I mean, out of all the playoff games, this one was pretty boring in comparison to all the others, really.
Oh, it really was.
Action.
Your thoughts, Dan?
I still say football is still by far the best bad weather sport. It is.
Yes.
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 Can you see them playing basketball in the same way? Yeah. No. Yes. It's the best foul weather
talking
sport.
about soccer, baseball. The actual
the
outdoor
sports.
Yeah, but even those sports, rain is your worst, right? It's not going to be like. Look at us. It's 18 below zero. Why would you make anyone human play outdoors this time of year? Baseball, I mean, I get it. We should put a dome in the Target Center, too. You've got 3 months there that you could not play. Don't give me no. It's proving my point.
Baseball is meant to be outdoors.
Okay, then why don't you shrink up the schedule so we can play it during the good warm weather
I'm
months?
not arguing with you on that.
Okay.
No, I'm not either.
I would like the World Series to be done by the middle of October.
Yeah, okay.
And I want football to go back to 16 games.
And the soccer, I'm not the big soccer guy that I am, they're done before bad weather. I guess I don't recall ever seeing film of soccer players playing in snow.
They will occasionally play in not to this extreme, but they will occasionally play in bad weather.
They play in cold weather.
Yeah,
But snow? I don't know. I guess I've not seen those videos.
There was a game in March one time. There wasn't any snow, but there was a game in March.
All right. The other side of the coin, I loved the other game.
I'm not going to agree with you. I'm sorry. No.
Well, it's because you're old school and you're not willing to open your mind up. I think we've proven a point. Well, they wouldn't play the Super Bowl in anything that isn't domed or down in a good warm weather. Why is that? Why is the Super Bowl then that much more important than the other 20 weeks of the season?
Because they want people to go and film all sorts of wonderful things outside and blah, blah, blah. But we got a lot of kudos for the Super Bowl we had up here. Yes, it was in a dome.
Yes, so we could play it.
They always want warm weather venues.
Chicago's putting a dome on it, right?
Yeah, I think Soldier Field?
Well, no, they're getting a new stadium. I've been under the impression that's a dome stadium they're putting up. It's just going to be Green Bay that has, in our division, that's still open. All right, the other game, Seahawks and the Rams. Way to go, Darnold. He's the man. Tough game. Perfect numbers. He did a fantastic job. And I don't think that game was over till the very last. It was so much fun. At the halves, how quickly they were switching. It was just a good game. 31-27. Dan, you start. Go Seahawks. I think you picked the Rams.
Yeah, I was absolutely all over the Seahawks on this one. It was actually closer than I expected it to be. I'll be perfectly honest. I expected the Seahawks were going to win. No, they weren't going to blow them out, but they were going to have a more comfortable game at the last few minutes. And that's definitely not what happened. But
did you think it'd be that high a scoring? I thought the defenses were going to be better.
I thought the defenses were going to be better, and that's where I thought the Seahawks probably let down the most. But then again, they are. I mean, I got to recognize that they are playing what is I won't say likely, but certainly a strong MVP candidate in Matthew Stafford, and those receivers, and so that passing game is pretty amazing, and they stepped up. Boy, did they step up! But I probably should have expected higher scoring, but I was not expecting this. Just the back and forth.
As soon as it was over, it was a great ball game to watch. As soon as it was over, I turned it off. John, did Darnold get the trophy for MVP of the game? I presume he did.
I think he did, yeah.
Okay.
Although I turned it off really quickly too.
It was late.
I'm with Dan.
Before you go, we should mention that Dan and you and I have all agreed that should be a noon and 3:30 games on a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Because then we could have watched the end. Yeah, there's no reason to do that weird crap. Okay.
Yes.
So now, John, your brilliance on the game. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Well, I agree with Dan. I thought Seattle would win by a little more, maybe a couple of touchdowns or 10 points. Great game. I think the Rams brought it all. And I thought it would be high scoring. Actually, I got some ghost bets going with a buddy of mine, and I picked the over, and I think the over was 45.5, and they beat it quite comfortably.
Yeah.
But great game. Happy for Darnold, very happy, and the city of Seattle. They've come close a few times. Now they're in the big game, so good for them.
I don't want your picks yet because we got weeks to discuss. But Darnold and May, both third choices when they were picked for quarterbacks. Darnold on 5. This is his 6th team. May gets in. It's a quarterback thing. It's who do you want more, the young kid or the veteran guy who's been on every team known to man? It's going to come down to that, isn't it? Just the feelings for who you want?
Pretty much, yeah. I would say that's exactly. It's
And how much anti-Minnesota does Darnold get for you? If Sam Darnold goes from us booting him after a 14-game season and goes and wins a Super Bowl, I'm sorry, John, how big a slap in Minnesota's face is that? It's like, you idiots.
It's a fairly good sized one. I mean, I think a lot of Minnesota people will be happy for Darnold because there isn't ill will against him.
Yeah.
It's more against the team, the owners, maybe the coach. Hard to say who was all involved in that decision. Was it all O'Connell? Was it the Wilfs?
It's $100 million contract. I mean, somebody's got to put $100 million up, and that's a lot of money. Dan, that's why I'm so happy for Darnold. This guy has done everything he could. He finally played well enough to get paid $100 million. Yeah. And he was going to take the money. Good for him. He could have blown a knee out this year and walked away or hobbled away. I'm happy for him, but
he's got that playoff monkey off his back.
Dan?
I'm impressed because the guy just seems like a man on a mission now. It's just he's got instead of now I've gotten paid, now I've got the legacy. Now I've got I need to do something because my legacy up until this point has been disappointment.
Yeah. Absolutely. He wins his Super Bowl. It turns his whole career around. All of a sudden, he is the guy who worked through everything to get there. Go ahead, Jeff.
It reminds me remember Brad Johnson?
Oh yeah,
for us, it almost took us there, and then he won it later on. It's sort of I have the same feeling to Darnold. I was really happy for Brad when he won the Super Bowl.
Yes,
I was like, such a great guy, good quarterback, was good for us. I'll feel the same way if Darnold wins.
All right.
But I mentioned it last week. This was going to happen because however much we pull for Sam. At the same time, we also know it's going to just absolutely stomp on our souls.
Which is absolutely being a Minnesota fan. We can get hurt when we're not playing now. I got to go to break. We'll be back. Want to talk about hurting feelings? Can we talk about the amount of time I've been spending watching your Wolves? We do that next.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together conservatives, liberals, independents, and others to restore trust, respect, and goodwill in politics. We seek not to eliminate our differences, but rather deal with them head on, with respect and understanding. We do not try to change people's views, but how they view the other side. There will always be differences. Braver Angels Minnesota believes the best way forward is to change how we deal with those differences. Join the civil conversation at mn.braverangels.org.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist, you need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
I got him, the guys at the end of the bench, John and Dan, talking a little Timberwolves. I've actually gone out of my way to make sure I watch as much as possible. So if I keep throwing the same stuff out because the same stuff just keeps happening. They are on a 5-game losing skid. The Saturday game postponed until yesterday. Did either of you guys get to actually watch the game?
No, I was watching football, but when I saw that score later, I was like, what? I mean, there are high school teams in the state of Minnesota that can score 85 points, all right?
Yeah.
And last week, I'm changing my tune. I said we should stick with what we have because they're capable of winning, but now I think maybe we need to trade or do something. There's got to be a spark lit into this team soon.
Dan, I bring this up when we have 6-7 guys in double figures, we got a shot. We had 3 guys in double figures. Julius Randle made it with 11. That's how bad it was all the way around. It was horrid.
That's bad. I mean, my biggest concern lately is that offense. I mean, this is I mean, they've had a couple of the big scoring games, but but no consistency, and they just. Yep. What I'm seeing is a lot of very individual. I have to create my own play, and Edwards can do that, but he needs a lot more. I mean, come on, I don't see them run like the like the high key picks, and it's not nearly enough. Not nearly enough of this stuff to get Edwards his best looks and others. But it just seems like a lot of individual creation, and there's enough talent that they can do that, but it only goes so far.
And you got a Golden State team with no Jimmy Buckets, right? Jimmy Butler is out, their second best player. They really fall off after he leaves. You should have been able to take advantage, and here's where it goes bad. We play them pretty easy, even, where I think Golden State was up 1 at the half. Then they come out in the third quarter. We score 17. They score 38. Game over by the middle of the fourth. Everybody's putting their other guys in. And here's, again, oh, my God. Turnovers, 12 by the Golden State Warriors. 25 by... Now, you can play a second, the B squad team of professional basketball players, and you give them 13 extra possessions that you didn't get, you're probably going to lose. It's and I don't want to get on Finch. Dan, how do you tell these guys stop turning it over? I mean, you're the coach. You can't play the game. That's just bad mental game.
I think it's all about trying. I think it's still all about trying to be the individual individual heroes. That's why a lot of the turnovers. I mean, turnovers are just straight steals from while I've got the ball. And it's like, come on! There's just no excuse. Yeah, it's going to happen every once in a while when you have to dribble a ball on the floor. But this is just ridiculous. Yeah, that's just going too far. They have. NBA. I'm always struggling to talk about how much an NBA team should have set plays and all that. But man, they could use more. I'm not saying that they should get every time down, but they just seems like they need more of just created plays. But.
John, give me your prediction tonight. I got 1 minute left. Now we fly to Golden State. We play them back to back. This is where Minnesota does the weird thing where they'll show us who they could be and win by 35. That's what I thoroughly expect, which is weird on back to backs. But that's the psychotic nature of these people, John.
It is, but I've got a bad feeling about the game. I think they're going to dump 2 in a row to Golden State.
And do 6 losses in a row? That would be, wow. Okay.
And they'll say, they're tired from the travel or whatever it is or something like that. It was such a long flight.
Dan, your thoughts on that? Which team shows up? Because if John is right, we'll have went from being in the second spot or virtually in second spot and 10 days later being, what would it be? 6.5 games out of second, 11 games out of first.
And hanging on to a play-in spot.
Yeah. Which one shows up for you, Dan? Which one shows up?
I think it is the psychotic. We're going to come back and we're going to.
I hope so.
I don't know if I don't think we're going to blow them out, but it's going to be 10 or 15. Yeah.
It'll be worth watching, guys. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you talking about anything sports related. Love having you on. It's Dan and John, the guys at the end of the bench. Thanks, guys.
See you.
Think about it. A famous politician once said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your own."